There's only one way to cook. That is from the heart.
We have to make sure that whoever wins MasterChef will deliver something of value back to Australia and back to the culinary scene of Australia.
We're looking for people that want this badly. This is going to change your life.
This is MasterChef Australia. MasterChef! It began with 7,500 hopefuls, all sharing the dream of becoming Australia's first MasterChef.
I believe I've got what it takes to win it.
But standing in their way, 3 of the toughest names in the food world.
It looks a little scary, doesn't it?
Who are searching for the country's top 20 amateurs.
You need to be thinking about food 24/7.
This is the most important dish you'll ever cook in your life.
Well done. That's great. Really good.
You're through to the next round.
And for these 20, the ultimate journey began.
Yes!
Welcome to your MasterChef kitchen.
It's business time. This is where the competition starts. It's where you live and die.
We want great food.
Push the envelope and show us what you can really do.
There are no limits.
Unleash the fury.
They've cooked against some of the world's most formidable chefs.
My kitchen philosophy is discipline and fear.
Plated spectacular dishes.
I've eaten this dish and it's a cracker.
And faced some of the toughest challenges the culinary world has ever seen.
Prepare for battle.
50,000 people, guys. Make us proud.
Let's get it out.
Let's go. Come on, you can do it.
Welcome to the industry.
This is huge.
For one of you, the dream is about to end.
But while some didn't make the grade,
If you want to stay here, you've got to do more than that.
I think you've really let yourself down on there. It's time to leave the MasterChef kitchen.
others rose to the challenge.
You're on fire, young man. 2 in a row, congratulations. That's the best dish of the night.
That is giddy-up material.
Wonderful. Exceptional.
I'd like the recipe.
I was never expecting it, and I did it.
Hallelujah. You are really looking like a real chef, yeah? High five.
Being on MasterChef has really ignited my passion for cooking.
This has really increased my hunger to make people happy with food.
It has been an amazing experience.
And I've got to say, you Aussies are fantastic.
It's been harsh in this room, but I respect it immensely.
It's going to be an experience I will never forget.
And now, it all comes down to 2 remaining chefs. Julie, the mother of 3 with a passion for homely meals.
I'm here to take the MasterChef journey and to win.
And Poe, the artist with a flair for the unexpected.
I've come this far and it's an absolute reality that I can do it now.
3 challenges stand between them and their dream of becoming Australia's first ever MasterChef.
I look around the house this morning. Poe and I are the only ones left. It's a strange, quiet sort of a feeling. It's nearly over now. I'm so thrilled to be in the finale. It's hard to believe it's the last day.
Not classic Cantonese, but classic Julie. Well done.
Good. No, actually, great.
This dish really defines what we talk about when we say elegant simplicity.
It just took so long to get here, but then suddenly we're in the grand final. It's crazy.
That's a great looking dish.
Love it. I love it. It's fantastic. I could keep eating that. That's beautiful. Well done.
That's a magical meal. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
The almighty Poe. The almighty Poe.
Yeah, it does feel very weird to be thinking that this is the last time we're going to be wearing our MasterChef whites.
Poe and I go into the kitchen and there's a letter for each of us. And it's a letter from our families. The way you have conducted yourself on the MasterChef journey has been awe-inspiring. In a short while, you will be back home where you belong and we can start our new lives together. Thank you for being so brave and taking on this. We are loving every minute. We believe in you. Love your boys.
We want you to know how proud we are of you and how much we love you. Good luck. We are behind you all the way, no matter what the outcome may be. As far as we are concerned, you've always been and always will be a winner. Love you heaps, Mum, Dad and the gang.
It was really lovely getting the letter and knowing that no matter what, you know, they're really proud of me, and having their support also makes me really want to try that little bit harder. I'm absolutely determined to give it everything that I've got today.
Ever since I started on this journey, I have maintained the belief that I could win. I suppose I've hung on for a long time to get to this day. I'm ready for it. Poe and I get out of the car, take a deep breath, and for the last day ever, head towards those doors without knowing what's beyond them.
It's the grand finale. All the top 20 were standing up on the balcony.
It's exciting. It's really exciting.
This being the finale, I can only imagine the nerves that they're feeling right now.
Look, I think this is going to be an extremely tough day on them.
Julie and Poe, welcome to the grand finale of MasterChef Australia. Every challenge you've been through, every dish you've made over the past 3 months has pointed to this day.
Julie, Poe, by the end of today, one of you is going to be crowned Australia's first MasterChef. And the prize? Work experience in some of Australia's top kitchens. The ability to put yourself into print with your own publishing deal. And $100,000 to give you the best kickstart that anybody could imagine. There'll be 3 rounds. It's on a point system. There are a maximum of 100 points. The person with the highest number of points at the end of today wins MasterChef Australia.
Good luck. Just think about the most beautiful thing for you, you know? I think about my family. I don't know what it is for you. Do what you have to do and win.
If I can give you a few words to inspire some greatness today, then I'll cast your mind back to top 50. I feel too strong to battle mere mortals. Bring me giants. Today's final is your giant.
I feel very determined today to do the very best that I am capable of doing.
It would mean a phenomenal amount for me to walk out of here and be the first MasterChef of Australia.
Right. Let's look at your first challenge for the day. It's a taste test. Poe, taste test. Haven't got a good record there.
Yeah, I don't have a good track record with taste tests. Went out on one, actually. Whoops. I'm gonna go with barley.
Poe, there's no barley in the minestrone.
Julie, spaghetti bolognese, how did you do?
I was in the bottom group with Poe.
Well, this is how the taste test will work. Poe, you'll get to see the dish and taste it while Julie is out of the kitchen. You'll name the ingredients one by one until you name one wrong ingredient.
Oh. That is a whole different kettle of fish.
Once you name one wrong ingredient, you will not be able to guess again, and your total score will be whatever score you're up to at that point. Julie, you'll then return to the room and do the same as Poe.
Gary has cooked one of the all-time great dishes. He's used 20 ingredients. For each of those ingredients you get right, you will score 1 point. So there's a grand total of 20 points available in this round if you get everything right.
It's exciting. I can't wait to see who wins.
20 ingredients. So there's a grand total of 20 points available in this round if you get everything right.
As soon as the pot is plonked in front of me, I can smell the aromas already, even before the lid is lifted off.
You can lift the lid.
What we can smell from the balcony is this beautiful, rich dish that is wafting up our nostrils, and we are just like salivating from the balcony.
Any idea what it is?
Is it a beef bourguignon?
It's Gary's bourguignon.
It's very evident that there's red wine and there's lots of visible ingredients. So yeah, I was feeling relatively confident.
Poe, you may have your first taste.
Okay, I'm gonna taste, but can I just say my first ingredient first from sighting?
That confident?
Yeah.
I might as well not confuse my taste buds too much and just concentrate on what's in front of me. And then when it comes to the sauce, then I would, you know, taste thoroughly.
I'll say thyme.
Thyme?
I can see it and I could smell it even with the lid on.
Thyme. Yes, thyme is in Gary's bourguignon. Well done.
Poe, do you want to dig in and have a taste, or are you going to name an ingredient?
I'm going to name an ingredient now.
Go on then. Go for your life.
Bay leaf.
Bay leaf.
Bay leaves are floating on the top, so it's a fairly obvious choice.
Poe, you're right. Bay leaf is in Gary's bourguignon.
For my third ingredient, I'm going to pick speck.
Speck, which is bacon. Yeah? Confident with that answer?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
Do you need another taste before you name an ingredient?
No, I'm going to go with the obvious
Okay.
before I forget. The beef.
Beef is in Gary's bourguignon.
Next ingredient are champignons, so button mushrooms.
Button mushrooms.
Of course they are.
I think that was a potato.
You think it's a potato?
I know it's potato.
Potato. Okay, potato.
Potatoes.
So you've got 6 ingredients down, 14 to go.
The shallot.
Shallot.
Red wine.
Red wine.
Salt.
Well done.
Tell us your 10th ingredient, Poe.
10th ingredient, I'm going to say pepper.
I must admit, when she mentions that, I'm a little bit nervous for her. Gary doesn't tend to cook with a lot of pepper.
What have you seen me put pepper in before?
Interesting you say that, actually. Usually white pepper, actually, I've seen you use. When you have.
Have you?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Pepper.
Poe, you're halfway there now. Next ingredient?
Butter. I'm going to say port.
Who thinks that there's port in Gary's bourguignon? Justine's not sure.
You usually would put it in. So.
Does your mum put it in?
No.
Justine's mum doesn't put it in.
No, but you...
I'm thinking it's very Gary to put pair port up with red wine, and it's very sweet, so that's why I'm guessing port.
I really feel I can taste it.
George, port in bourguignon.
There is no port in Gary's bourguignon.
You got 11 ingredients out of 20. It's tough. It's really, really tough.
I don't know if 11 points is enough to keep Julie at bay today. Yeah, I'm really annoyed with myself.
So let's see how Julie fares in the same test.
So I'm called back into the kitchen. It's my turn to taste. There's a huge long bench with 20 cloches on it and a great big red pot.
Right, Julie, it's round 1. Poe's just completed it. She received 11 ingredients out of a possible 20.
When I hear that Poe scored 11 out of 20, I'm suddenly more nervous because I think, wow, this is going to be harder than it looks.
Now it's time to lift the lid on the pot and identify as many ingredients as you can.
I think I can smell wine. Whatever this dish is, it's a winey dish.
Do you know what it is from just looking at it?
It's beef burgundy or something like that.
It's Gary's bourguignon.
Okay.
I would think that this is a dish that Julie would be quite familiar with, but she doesn't look that confident.
Julie, you get to taste and identify as many ingredients as you can. But once you get one of them wrong, then that's it. You can't guess, you can't taste anymore, and that's the number that we tally up. So you get 1 point for every correct ingredient.
Okay.
Just want to stir around for a bit first. Well, for my first guess, I might go out on a limb, Gary, and say beef.
I wonder what you were going to say there. Beef.
Of course, beef is in Gary's bourguignon.
Okay. There's also mushrooms.
Mushrooms?
Bay leaf.
Bay leaves.
Onions.
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 Can you see onions in there?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes.
Can you taste onions?
Yeah. That's an onion,
Is it?
isn't it?
She lifts up the shallot and she calls out onions.
Well, maybe it's a shallot. Okay, maybe I'll leave that one.
No, you can't.
What?
No.
Why not?
You said onions.
We said, oh my God, she's not going to make it. She's not going to get, you know, the fourth ingredient.
Onions.
Oh. I'm so relieved when they reveal that there are onions in there that I promptly forget that there are shallots in there.
Can you see anything else in there that you feel confident about?
I can see bacon.
Bacon.
Thyme. I'm going to say red wine.
Cheers.
Oil.
Of course, there's oil in the bourguignon. Well done.
Because she started to hit on a few ingredients that I hadn't hit, and I thought, oh, there's a lot more obvious ones to follow. So I'm starting to get nervous that she's going to overtake me.
Potato.
You say potato. I say potato.
Salt.
Julie, you're about to name your 11th ingredient. Get this right, and you'll tie with Poe.
I think there's vinegar.
Vinegar is in the bourguignon. Well done.
It looks like Julie's sort of heading for like the home stretch, and I'm feeling quite horrible right now.
So, Julie, you're tied with Poe. You both have 11 ingredients. If you get ahead in this round, it could set you up for the rest of the day.
I'm sort of out of the realm of what I am sure of and now into the realm of unsure, but I reckon there would be garlic.
George, garlic?
Garlic is in the bourguignon.
Julie, well done.
Thank you.
You're ahead, 1 point ahead in this challenge so far. 1 point ahead in the finale. You ready to name your next ingredient?
I'm not sure if I'm going to get this right, but it is very sweet.
There is no way she could not be thinking port. I'm thinking, so port, so port.
And I think that possibly there is port.
Port.
Sorry, there is no port in Gary's bourguignon.
Okay.
Well done, Julie.
Well done, Julie. Julie, exactly the same stumbling block as Poe.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, we're both idiots.
The only difference is, Julie, you got one more ingredient, so you're 1 point ahead. Amazing.
So this is the ingredients that neither of you got. And the first one is sugar, parsley stalks, tomatoes.
Oh, for crying out loud.
stock. And the final ingredient, carrots.
I don't think I've done myself proud in the first round. I feel like I kind of blew it a little bit, but Julie is not, drastically ahead of me. So we're still both on fairly level playing ground.
That's the end of round one. Ding, ding, bring on round two.
Julie and Poe, that's round one down. Poe, you're on 11 points. And Julie, you're just in front on 12 points.
So the first round's over. Poe and I are very close. I'm extra nervous about round two. Like anything could happen. If there's a disaster, it could just be overtaken in such a devastating way that it'd be impossible to recover.
It's time to move to round two. But before we do, we need to introduce you to a special guest judge. He's best known for his cookbooks and his show Surfing the Menu. Fresh off the plane from LA, please welcome back to the MasterChef kitchen, Curtis Stone.
I'm Curtis Stone. I'm a chef and a published cookbook author. I've been working in this industry for about 15 years. I started cooking because I was a greedy kid. I just loved to eat, and my mum and granny were both good bakers, and that kind of got me a bit involved in it. Mother Nature inspires me. She brings about all these beautiful seasons and incredible ingredients. So if we listen to her, then we can cook really well.
Thanks, Curtis. Thank you. Curtis is Australia's most successful international chef with regular appearances on Oprah and the Today Show in the US.
I know that he's quite a harsh taskmaster, so I'm a little bit nervous about him being a judge.
Curtis, these guys are about to head into the second last challenge of the entire competition. Have you got any advice for them?
Do you know, I think that you should follow your heart. You should be really passionate about what you do. But don't forget, one of you is going to be the best amateur cook in this country. So I hope you're going to push it.
Poe, Julie, time for round two. And the return of an old friend.
Oh, God.
It's time for the Invention test.
My heart sinks a little bit because I've had some moments during Invention tests that I'd probably rather not mention.
So the Invention test, same amount of time, same core ingredient to make the best possible dish you can.
Okay, I think it's time to go into the pantry, reveal the core ingredient that you're going to be using today, and of course the other ingredients that you'll choose to go with it. Let's go.
Good luck, guys. Have a dance.
There's just one core ingredient today. Poe, what would be your nightmare ingredient?
Anything that involves a slab of meat is bad for me.
Julie, what are you hoping for?
Something familiar that I know how it behaves when I cook it.
Right, it's time to find out what our core ingredient is today.
Oh my God.
Whole chicken.
I'm not good at cooking whole carcasses or meat, so it is making me nervous.
Chicken. Cast your mind back to our first ever Invention test. And that's what we revealed. What's interesting for us is to see how much you've learned since that first Invention test to now.
I think it's quite fitting that we have chicken as our core ingredient because we've come full circle.
It's got to be a restaurant standard. And that's bottom line. You've got 5 minutes to choose the ingredients that are going to go with your chicken, and your time starts now.
I can't help but keep thinking about this one dish. It's a very well-known, rustic, old-school Chinese dish, and I'd really love to have the judges taste it.
I would like to show more than one skill with the chicken, but I really feel like if I don't take a risk, I'm going to be marked down.
Does everyone want to know what the core ingredient is?
Absolutely.
The core ingredient is Whole chicken.
To see it again today and to be able to look down and see that these girls are going to be able to show how far they've come in the competition, I just think that's fantastic. It's going to be a dish that uses the whole bird, not a little bit in a stir fry, not one breast put on a plate.
Our 4 judges will each give your dishes a score out of 10.
There's 40 points each up for grabs. Good luck, take no prisoner, and your time starts now.
Today, the challenge in round 2 consists of the Invention test. Poe and Julie have an hour and a half to cook a dish with the core ingredient being chicken. At the end of this challenge, they're going to get a score out of 40.
I'm hoping to grab a really good lead in this second round because I am a little bit nervous about that 1 point that Julie has one up on me. And, you know, it could be just the 1 point that is the difference at the end.
Julie, what are you cooking today?
I'm going to do a roast breast of chicken.
On the crown, you seem to have it.
I'll roast it on the crown, yeah. I am going to make a sage and garlic stuffed chicken breast for my inspiration. I am going to, from Masterclass, do the roasting of the chicken on the crown.
There's nothing better than cooking a chicken breast on the bone.
Roasting on the crown is where you take the thighs and the legs off and you take the back off, and what you're left with is the 2 breast fillets which are still on the skeleton of the bird. From my experience with Donovan Cook, I know how to get my fingers in between the skin and the meat and stuff yummy things in there. I'm also doing a rolled thigh in prosciutto, a celeriac puree and a spinach ball.
Julie, you're confident. What are you hoping for out of 40?
I really just want to do my very best today. I'm showing you things that I've learned from all different challenges and masterclasses right through the competition. I've been struggling with the perception of me as just a home cook and nothing more, on and off throughout the competition. So my vision for my dish is that I combine what I know about cooking chicken beautifully with what I've learned throughout the competition to hopefully create a dish that can show the judges just how far I've come and what I'm capable of.
Looking good, Julie.
Oh,
Yes.
you excited?
I'm excited.
You're nervous?
Yes.
What are you cooking?
I'm making Hainanese chicken rice today.
Can you explain that? Because I've got no idea. What is it?
It's from the region of Hunan, and it's a really famous hawker store dish. I'm going to do
The 2 legs, which is what I'm going to steam.
With the stock, I'm going to boil the rice.
It's one of my all-time favourite chicken dishes. And the reason I love it is because you get that lovely poached chicken, you get the rice, and then you get a soup or the stock, which goes with it.
I am taking a bit of a risk with this dish because it's simple, but I really want to give the judges something that is definitely Poe. My style of food is all about where I came from. It's Chinese, Malaysian cuisine.
That's the sort of dish that I've really hoped that we'd find in this competition.
But coming to MasterChef has also helped me to think about not to be afraid of changing those old recipes and reinventing them so that they could be plated up in a really nice restaurant.
And just to throw in a bit of jeopardy, I'm actually going to do a little dessert on the side because it's something that I always eat with this dish.
You know what happens when you try too much, Poe?
I know.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Julie, Poe, half an hour down, 1 hour to go.
The judges want a restaurant standard dish. I decide to draw on restaurant standard people. When I cooked against Adrian Richardson, he taught me the spinach ball. Also, he did a potato galette, which is round, a little ring of potatoes, brushed with butter and cooked until it's crispy. I decide to do that, but I'm going to do it in triangles that overlap.
My prediction is that the pointy bits are going to go brown.
I guess only having done that dish once before, I'm not 100% sure of whether or not it's going to work, but you know what, I'll give it a bash.
From the top 50, I just couldn't have picked who would be standing here today.
What do you think about Julie's dish?
Look, I love the fact that she's doing a little of something that she's learned all the way through the process here in the MasterChef kitchen.
But Gary, if all those elements aren't correct, wow, she could be in big trouble.
My chicken dish is sort of all well underway, so I'm going to try my little pandan chiffon cake. What appears to be green food colouring is actually pandan essence. Basically, it's Asian vanilla essence.
Po is doing her dessert, which I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Traditional Chinese cake looks. It does look like green slime at the minute, but I think it'll be good.
Our biggest concerns for Po, very, very simple dish. Could be a bit pedestrian if it's not super, super good.
What's to do with dessert as well?
Yeah, but that's typical Po, don't you think? Look, if she can nail that main course and then give us a gorgeous little dessert, that's points on the board for me.
Proud to see them two in here today, facing off. I'm hoping for a great dish, and I reckon they might bring it to us.
2 fingers crossed.
They're going to make it hard for us.
And 1 for Julie.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see the number of processes and techniques that both Julie and Paul are showing. If you look back to week 1 chicken challenge, I think people probably did about 1/10 of what they're doing today, and it's really evident how far they have come since week 1 of this competition.
It is round 2 of the grand final, and you have 30 minutes left to produce the most amazing chicken dish ever.
Oh my God, Curtis, please don't look at my station.
This is a pigsty,
I know.
What's going on?
I've cooked Hainanese chicken rice and I've made 3 sauces. It's a little bit of a Malaysian take on the Hainanese. So that's a chilli sauce I made from scratch, and that's just ginger and scallions just chopped really finely.
With every bite that you eat with the chicken rice, you'd actually spoon a little of the 3 sauces onto your piece of chicken and then gather up some rice and eat it in 1 mouthful.
Looks good, Po. Apart from the mess, it looks good.
Yep, thank you.
With 30 minutes to go, I'm right on target. And then I realised that I've forgotten about my potatoes in the oven. Oh, crap.
I thought, oh my God, here we go, it's meltdown time.
Julie, how's it going?
Don't look at that. This is absolutely one of those moments where earlier in the competition I might have just ended up in a puddled heap because something hadn't worked and it was all going to be terrible. But I just keep thinking, you know what, I can do it. So I decided to quickly make some little potato batons, or little, mini chips, I suppose you call them, just so I've still got crispy potatoes on the plate, as advertised.
You're in the last 15 minutes of round 2 of the finale. Come on, guys, let's go.
Really, to get everything done, I need to be doing a lot at once. I'm browning the prosciutto on my chicken thigh in 1 pan. I'm reducing my gravy in another pan. Just get it done. That's all I'm saying to myself, just get it done.
Everything is cooked. I just have to basically plate stuff.
The plating up for this dish is very important, but probably my hardest task for today. It's a very home-style dish. It's notoriously unattractive, so I just have to find ways to make it look appealing and that it could be plated up in a restaurant.
Come on, Po!
Right, you've got less than 5 minutes to go. This is when it counts.
Go, Julie. You know what I'm loving? I'm loving the fact that it all looks gorgeous right now, and I can't wait to taste it. Come on, girls, let's go.
Time's up. That's the end of round 2. Ding, ding.
When I finish plating up my dishes, I'm happy with what it looks like, and I definitely think that this is probably the best version of this dish I've ever made.
I'm really proud of what I've achieved in the competition. Can't believe I'm standing here, to be honest.
Oh, wow, that looks beautiful.
I'm first to take my plates into the judges. Knowing that Matt and Gary know this dish really well and have very high expectations is starting to make me get the jitters a bit.
It's Hainanese chicken rice, and on the side I've also got a pandan chiffon cake. It's a dish that I've grown up eating, and it's exactly the sort of dish that I'd want to serve in my restaurant.
Could you explain how you want us to eat this dish?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay. You can choose to sort of just have this during the meal. So instead of having a drink, you just have a sip of the soup. Or you can ladle some over the chicken. You can sort of moisten the rice with it a little bit as well throughout the meal if you want.
It just strikes me as a strange dish to choose. It really does. I really thought that you'd do something much more complex.
I'm very excited with this. Pretty little cakes.
Thanks. Flavour's good. Taste of natural chicken. You know, a homemade chicken stock, something that you can imagine bubbling away in that pot. Chicken's tender, it's soft.
I love the fact that you've brought a dish to us that we know, but you've given it a reinvention through the presence of the three sauces. That's exciting, and in your restaurant, I'd be excited if that came up, because it's nothing better than, you know, driving an old car on a new racetrack.
Po, the three condiments that you've made, I love. I can taste the spice, I can taste the sweetness, I can taste all of those ingredients that you put in there, and I think they're really, really good. You've done a great job with them. I'm really impressed. Well done.
Thanks, Curtis.
This is you, and I'm be proud that you put a bit of you up on a plate.
I feel like I've done everything that I could. I'm proud of myself for what I've achieved today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Po. Now we've tasted Po's lovely Hanny's chicken. Let's see what Julie's cooked.
It's my turn to take my dish into the judges, and I'm feeling terrified.
Tell us what you've cooked today.
It's a roast chicken breast, a thigh rolled in prosciutto, it's sage and garlic, celeriac puree, and a spinach ball. I had planned on a really spectacular thing with the potatoes, but they just didn't work, so I just, you know, whipped up a few batons instead.
Are you nervous?
I'm extremely nervous.
To me, the most important thing when you put food on a plate is that it tastes good. And you get a real sense of the person that's cooked it for you. So I've got to say, both the chicken breast that you've cooked and the leg are cooked perfectly. Beautiful, really, really good, well done. The celeriac puree, I want more. It tastes so good. It's so smooth and creamy and warm, and it's just so comforting to me. Well done. You've cooked a really beautiful dish.
Thank you.
The chicken breast is cooked perfectly. It's nice and moist. The masala sauce, nice head of masala. There's no graininess to the sauce. It's a nice roast gravy or jus consistency. That's how it should be. The only bit that doesn't work are those little potatoes. They're sort of, they're an afterthought because you panicked. It's just really good, and I'm very proud of you. Well done.
Thanks, Gary.
Well done.
How far have you come? Unbelievable. This is why you're in the top two, because what you've demonstrated there is all the skills that you've gained throughout the competition. I'm really, really stoked, except for this little thing there.
Thanks,
well done.
To take something that's as homely as roast chicken, something we're all familiar with, and to put it on the table with a restaurant interpretation is something that's quite hard to do convincingly. Really, it's a perfect example of a modern Australian restaurant dish. You've actually achieved what you set out to achieve, which is to go from being a home cook to being a restaurant cook. So congratulations, that's a beautiful dish.
Thank you.
When the three of you put me through to the top 20, you questioned my ability to change from a home cook to a chef. And I told you that I could and that I would. And I've tried so hard to do that, and I haven't always succeeded. But I guess just those comments, they make all that trying worthwhile. Thank you. Sorry. To stand here at this point, I feel like I've climbed a mountain. I feel like I've climbed Mount Everest.
We've looked at both dishes for the second round. I think it's time for us to go now and reveal our scores.
Poe and I are standing next to each other. I'm shaking, the adrenaline's pumping. I don't know how long a person can live like this.
Julie and Poe, your chicken dishes have been tasted and they've each been given a score by the judges out of 10. Gary, how did you score Poe's dish?
I scored Poe's dish. Nine out of 10. Poe, love the fact that that chicken dish was a reflection of you and that you were brave enough to serve up such a simple dish.
Thank you, Gary.
George, your thoughts on Poe's dish?
I scored Poe's dish 9 out of 10.
Okay, Matt, how did you score Poe's dish?
8 out of 10. Poe, a delicious execution of a classic home-style dish.
All right then, Curtis, what score did you give Poe's dish?
I scored Poe a 7 out of 10. Poe, I thought you did a really good job. I thought the food was great. I really enjoyed eating it. Well done.
Thanks, Curtis. Poe, that's a score of 33 out of a possible 40 for this challenge. Well done. After round 2, you're now on 44 points.
I'm not sure whether that's enough to beat Julie.
Julie, to equal Poe, you'll now need to score 32 points out of 40 from the judges in the second round.
I hope I can match Poe. Those are excellent scores.
Curtis, over to you on how you scored Julie's dish.
Julie, I scored you a 7 out of 10. You did really well. Your dish represented exactly how you like to cook and you executed everything really, really well. I love the flavours, so well done.
Thank you very much.
Gary, Poe received a score of 9 out of 10 from you. What are you scoring Julie's dish?
9 out of 10.
George, what score did you give Julie?
A 9 out of 10. That was an absolutely champagne effort. It was beautiful. Well done, Julie.
Julie, so far your scores have mirrored Poe's score for score. Matt, you gave Poe 8 out of 10. What score have you given Julie's dish?
I'm really nervous waiting for Matt's score. Matt can score quite harshly because he's a food critic and he's got, you know, incredibly high standards. It could be anything from Matt. Could be anything.
I scored Julie's dish 9 out of 10.
I'm disappointed, but I think she deserves it.
Oh, I can't believe it. This, I think, is one of the great moments for me.
Julie, you pushed yourself today. You pushed yourself in terms of the ideas you wanted to put on the plate. You pushed yourself in terms of the techniques you wanted to show us. You took a beautiful dish and you took it to a whole nother level. Congratulations. It was a beautiful, beautiful dish.
Julie, that's a score of 34 out of 40 for this challenge. You're on 46 points.
I've just pipped Poe. I'm 2 points ahead. 2 points in 100. That's not a lot of points.
2 points separate you. It's round 3. Ding, ding. Come on, bring it home.
I'm going into the final round with 2 points down, which is very disappointing, but I'm not going to let it get to me, and I'm going to fight for my life and try and win the title.
It's time for round 3. Poe and Julie, you're about to face a challenge. A challenge that will determine who takes out the title of Australia's very first MasterChef.
3 months. There is one challenge left to go. And I don't know what it is, but I know I'm scared of it.
The final round in this competition will be a pressure test.
Of course. I'm feeling quite good because I do have a good track record with pressure tests.
You'll both be asked to make the same dish, a dish that I can tell you is the most technical dish that we've ever seen in this series. It's a dish that's been devised by someone that, yes, everyone here knows rather well. Please welcome to the MasterChef kitchen once again, Chef Matt Moran.
I'm a little bit scared because the last time I saw Matt Moran, he was caning me for my Malaysian dish.
I'm Matt Moran, chef and owner of Aria Restaurant. What it takes to succeed in this industry is a lot of hard work and a lot of love. If you don't love it, don't do it.
Justine, I'm going to give you encouragement. Hurry up.
Oh, up you come.
Well, that flavour really packs a punch, doesn't it? That's just far too raw.
I'm really embarrassed about that.
Yeah, I would be embarrassed too.
Matt Moran, thank you so much for coming in and preparing this dish.
Pleasure.
I've eaten this dish at Aria. I was very, very impressed. It was the highlight of my meal. Matt, can you reveal the dish?
Of course.
Matt removes the cloche from the plate, and on the plate is just the most elegant, beautiful looking thing. It's just chocolate, chocolate, chocolate everywhere, and it's so beautifully plated. It's a scary looking dessert.
It's pretty much a chocolate assiette. It's a plate of chocolate. You have a chocolate tart, you have some tempered half pipe, you got a little bit of sorbet, you got a little bit of glaçage, you got some macaroons, 2 lots of macaroons, one which is cooked perfectly and the other one which is crumbled up, which you put underneath the double cream. As for being difficult, you have so much technique in this and so many things could go wrong. The tempering of the chocolate, your sorbet being grainy, your macaroon being too hard, your tart being dry, or your glaçage splitting. So when it comes to technique, this is something that you would find in a 3-star Michelin restaurant in Europe.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us in the MasterChef kitchen today.
Guys, good luck. It isn't an easy dessert, but just focus on it, yeah? Do your best, and I'm sure you'll get something up there that's really presentable to these guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Good luck.
Thank you. Never have the stakes been higher than today. It's going to be full on.
This challenge is worth 40 points. Each judge will score your dishes out of 10. At the end of this challenge, your scores from the 3 rounds will be tallied together. The person with the highest combined score out of 100 will be declared Australia's first ever MasterChef.
The last dish, last day, is going to decide who wins. That's ridiculous pressure.
Julie and Poe, you have 2.5 hours to reproduce Matt Moran's beautiful chocolate tasting plate.
This dish is all there is left between me and the MasterChef title.
Julie is 2 points ahead of me and I am ready to fight for my life.
Your time starts now.
The tension in the room is palpable now. This is the final cook-off in the finale.
They have about 9 different processes, all of them involving chocolate. It's going to be really hard to do all those elements of that dish in 2.5 hours and do it well.
First stage is to do the pastry. Make it, roll it out, let it rest. This will form the base of the tart. 3 months of challenges and excitement and stress and all the things we've learned comes down to this one recipe.
We actually have a reasonable amount of time, so I think I'm just going to really try and concentrate and get everything right so I don't have to remake anything.
My pastry's in the fridge and I'm moving on to the chocolate tart mixture. Chocolate mixture is 2 different kinds of chocolate. You heat up cream and pour it over to melt the chocolate and add some butter and add some eggs.
3 eggs and 2 egg yolks.
Hey, Poe.
Hi.
Are you following the recipe to the T? Or are you
I am
changing
actually.
things around and doing it in a different order?
No, I'm following it to the T.
So what are you making here? You're making the filling for the
Yes.
tart?
Yes.
And that little chocolate half pipe, are you a bit nervous about that?
No, actually okay with that. I mean, it's just melted chocolate.
It's just melted
No,
chocolate,
I mean, there's only
George.
one ingredient in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
But the tempering of chocolate is really, really hard. I mean, you said it, you know. It's something that it would have taken you years to get right.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Julie?
G'day. I've got my...
You look a bit nervous.
Of course I'm nervous.
What are you nervous about?
Losing?
Okay, yeah.
And just got to be careful because this is chocolate. See, it's really thin here, and see how it's sticking already. It's quite a sticky, sticky dough. Yeah. See where it's stuck already?
I'm feeling a little bit flustered because I don't know if it looks right. It seems to be sticking to the bench.
Yeah. Well, making me nervous.
I think she might have overworked it a little bit. Poe's, on the other hand, was just silky and stunning.
I spend a lot of time rolling the pastry out and making sure it's perfect because I really don't want a thick, doughy pastry shell.
Poe.
Yes.
That is beautiful. You've rolled it out really well. Did you do it on greaseproof paper?
Yes, and
well done.
Yeah.
That's a smart little adjustment. The artist in you is coming out, isn't it? Well done, Poe. Good luck.
Thank you.
Last round in the final challenge in the finale, and Julie is 2 points ahead. Is she going to keep the lead, though, George? Because this pastry seems to be defeating her. She's really nervous, she's jittery. And really, she's not doing a great job there. Julie, Poe, 1 hour down, 1.5 hours to go.
And now I'm going to make chocolate sorbet. Yum. I've never made sorbet before. Syrup over the chocolate. Stir until melted, strain through a sieve. That seems all right. It only needs to be in the blast freezer long enough to chill, not to freeze. It's going to freeze in the ice cream churn.
You need to not have any air pockets because it will crystallise on the top and make the sorbet grainy.
It's a juggling act. There's a lot of different elements, and if I don't multitask, I'm going to fall behind. So
I
think the hardest thing on that plate is definitely the tempered chocolate half pipe.
This is the bit I'm nervous about. It's tempering the chocolate. It's got to be just the right temperature.
Tempering chocolate basically means that you're changing the molecular structure of it. When it sets at room temperature, it goes brittle but doesn't melt.
Let's bowl in oven for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't like the idea of putting it in the oven because I don't know. If I just heat it a little bit, temperature it, heat it up a little bit, I feel like it's more controllable over the stove, so that's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it is a big call not to follow that recipe and go against what Matt Moran, with all this experience, says.
I find if you have it over a bath, I tend to forget about it and it ends up seething, so this is just the way I prefer to do it. Most people think I'm nuts for doing this, but...
30 degrees.
What's that?
Good to have steady hands at this point. I've got to hurry because otherwise this chocolate's going to cool back down. I roll it around inside the pipe and that looks like it might be okay.
Is that long enough? I'm just gonna, again, go with my own instincts. Probably the wrong thing to do. It's looking okay. Do you know what? I want to put it in the fridge even though they told me not to.
She just does what she wants to do when she wants to do it, and you can't do anything about that.
Julian Poe, after 3 months in the MasterChef kitchen, it comes down to this.
I'll just stay calm, that's what I'll do.
The final hour.
This hour will decide who will become Australia's first MasterChef.
I pour my mix into the ice cream churner and I don't really know what to do. I don't know what to think. I just let it keep churning while I carry on with other elements of the dish. Doing the macaroons, we have to do them with our hands. And it feels a bit like making a mud pie. They seem to be holding their shape.
Feeling relatively confident. I've made macaroons before in this competition.
How's that sorbet looking?
Oh, I don't know about the sorbet. One of the things we were warned about was graininess.
It is grainy.
The sorbet is a disaster. Well, I might make another one and see if it's any better.
You've got 45 minutes, Julie, so if you're going to get it done, you better get onto it.
Rightio.
We'll leave you alone.
Thanks.
I think she left it in the blast chiller a little bit too long and ice crystals formed.
That is quite a setback because it takes quite a while to freeze. If it doesn't solidify, my 2-point lead is not going to matter one little bit.
Hers has been in there. She hasn't started the sorbet yet.
Yeah, I suppose it's going to be frozen solid.
Yeah, this is my third lot of macaroons. I'm not quite confident that those other ones are the right size. So I'm just going to do another batch.
Julian Poe, you have half an hour to go.
Whoa, hang on, sorry.
A bit freaky to hear there's only 30 minutes to go.
I think the issue we have now is that they're focusing on the different elements, but they're not focusing on that time. It's going to be the thing that could be the difference between one of them winning and the other one going home empty-handed.
Absolutely.
See, they're big enough again, still.
nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. Round 2 of the sorbet, and you need 1 tiny spoonful of it. Need to calm down.
You have 15 minutes to go.
Come on, guys.
It's not quite as sexy as it should be.
It's definitely not glossy. I should have followed the recipe, and I am an idiot for taking such a risk.
I can't believe 2.5 hours it's come down to this.
I need to put that.
I mean, it's riveting. I mean, this has become a spectator sport.
My sorbet is not going so well.
Oh, freeze, would you?
Now, Poe, how do you think she's going? But that sorbet, she's got loads in the machine. It doesn't look like it's going to set. She's spooning stuff out.
She left it right to the last sort of 20 minutes to get it into the machine.
It's risky. I've got my fingers crossed for both of them.
You've got 5 minutes to go. That's 5 minutes.
Oh, well done, Poe. Julie, Poe, one of you is going to be Australia's first MasterChef.
Let's go! Play up! Done!
Julie, Poe, I am cheering for you. This is the last 10 seconds of this competition.
No.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
Well done.
It's over. It's over. Oh, thank God. I have given it everything I've got. It's the most important plate of food I've ever put in front of anybody. Because it determines my future.
I feel an immense amount of relief. I'm looking forward to hearing what the judges have to say about my dish. I am the underdog, being 2 points down. And I don't know if it's enough to beat Julie. I think she might have done quite well with her dish.
But I've got to say, when I first saw Matt reveal the chocolate dessert, I thought these guys haven't got a chance. There's no way they can replicate what he's put on the plate there, because it's a work of art that takes a lot of experience to get to that level. And when I saw what you've just put down in front of us, I'm blown away. You've done an incredible job. You've made it look just as beautiful as Matt's.
Poe, how does it feel putting up the final dish of the competition for us to taste?
I'm feeling really relieved, and I feel very privileged to be in front of you right now, to be plating up this dish. And it's a really beautiful ending to a journey for me. I can honestly say that if I don't win, I don't feel like I'm missing out at all, because I absolutely intend to pursue my dreams. If I go out on this dish, I have absolutely no regrets.
Brilliant. Good to hear, Poe.
Yeah.
OK, Poe, would you like to serve us up a little piece of your chocolate tart?
That chocolate tart is smashing. The biscuit on the bottom is beautiful, it's buttery. For me, the sorbet's a letdown.
In terms of the chocolate pipe and the tempering, haven't got that snap and doesn't give you that lovely smooth shine.
I feel stupid about it. It was a mistake that I could have definitely corrected, and for some reason, I choose not to.
And that tart is the hero. Really good chocolate like this has a dark kind of fruitiness to it, and that is the perfect representation of that flavour. That's beautiful, beautiful work. Well done.
The tart's brilliant. Yeah, there's a little problem with your sorbet, but the flavour's still great. As far as I'm concerned, if I shut my eyes, I could be in Aria's kitchen right now.
I think it's very clear that you've come such a long, long way from the start of this competition, and for you to be able to put up that standard of dish in the grand finale is a testament to your grit and to your ability as a cook. So well done, and thank you.
No matter what, I'm in the final two, and it's a massive achievement. And everything that I've come here to discover, I have.
Okay, now we've scored Poe's dish. Let's get Julie in and see how she's fared.
Everything I've done, from my very first audition dish all the way through the competition, comes down to this one plate of food.
How do you feel placing the last dish that we're going to taste in front of us?
I really gave it everything today, so, you know, whatever the result is, I'm happy.
Do you think the Julie that first walked through these doors in the top 20 would have been able to plate up this dish?
No, not a chance.
If your boys could look at the plate that you just put up there in front of us, what do you think they'd say about you?
They'd say, where's the rest of it?
Please, could you plate up? We'd like to taste.
I'm curious to see whether or not that chocolate's tempered. Good.
Beautiful snap. It looks beautiful. It doesn't look as good as Poe's. I'm going to say it right from the word go. There's too much pastry as a comparison to the amount of tart.
Julie, that chocolate tart is beautiful. The macaroon is chewy and delicious. The sorbet is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
The tart's probably a little bit thinner than Matt's, and also it's a little bit thicker in terms of the base. But having said that, that sorbet is as good as I've had anywhere in Australia. It's rich, it's light, it's bright, and the texture is absolutely like velvet.
Julie, really tricky dessert. Didn't think you were going to be able to do it, and I think that is fabulous. And I think the difference between when you walked into this competition with that big lamb and mash to that final dish of a beautiful and delicate chocolate dessert is a testament to your determination. Fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. I have given it everything I've got. Every bit of love that I could put into those pots and dishes. Everything.
Well, gentlemen, that was our last tasting in this competition. Let's go and reveal the scores.
Julie and Poe, this is the moment you've been waiting for all competition. Very shortly, the scores for the final round will be revealed and the winner of MasterChef Australia will be announced. Before we announce the winner, we've brought along some faces from the past to share in this very special moment.
Julie, Poe, standing in this room are some of Australia's best chefs. They have watched you, they have nurtured you, they have competed against you. They have come here for one reason, and that is to find out who is going to be crowned Australia's first MasterChef.
Julie and Poe, this is it. It's time to reveal your scores. At the end of round 2, Poe, you were on 44 points. Julie, you were 2 points ahead on 46 points. Poe, we're going to hear the scores for your dish first. George, how did you score Poe's dish?
Poe, I scored you a 7 out of 10.
Congratulations. Matt, she did you very proud. You did a brilliant job, gallant effort, well done.
Thanks, George.
Gary, what score did you give Poe's dish?
Poe, I scored your dish 8 out of 10.
Gary gives Poe an 8, and I think, oh wow, here it comes. She scored really well.
Doesn't happen often that you find people that can plate up like you can. So well done.
Poe, that's a score of 15 so far for this round. Let's see how Matt scored your dish.
Poe, I scored the dish 8 out of 10. You should be very proud.
Curtis.
Poe, I gave your dish an 8 out of 10. Well done, you're a great pastry chef.
Poe, that's a total score of 31 out of 40 for this round, which brings your combined total score for today to 75 points.
Well done, Poe.
It's now time to find out the scores for Julie's dish. At the end of round 2, you were sitting on 46 points. You now need to score 30 points or more from the judges to beat Poe. Curtis, what score did you give Julie's dish?
Julie, I gave your dish a 9 out of 10.
Wow. Oh, wow. Matt.
I scored Julie's dish 9 out of 10.
Well done, John!
George.
I scored your dish, Julie 9 out of 10.
To beat Poe and to become Australia's first ever MasterChef, you require 3 points from Gary.
Couldn't score you any other way. You are Australia's first MasterChef. How are you feeling? Describe it to us.
I don't know if I can describe it. I feel happy. I feel happy.
We're going to organise some training for you in some of Australia's top kitchens. You get $100,000 in cool, hard cash and a publishing deal to put your ideas in print with Random House.
I'd like to open a little restaurant on the Central Coast that people love to come to and come back to, regulars, you know. I just want to serve good food, unpretentious food. I just want it to be a warm and welcoming place that people love to be in, and I want to cook for them. When people leave my restaurant, I want them to feel like they've been loved.
Po, every day's a new day in this industry, and you've got an amazing future ahead of you. You've created a new taste sensation on my palate, and I thank you for that. Follow your dream, never stop. You're a legend.
Thanks, George.
Po, it's been a joy to have you in this competition. It's been a joy to see the food you put up. We use the word journey a lot in this style of television, but when you put food on the plate, you actually take us on a journey to your past, to your heritage, to other crazy, weird places that these guys haven't been before. And it's been fantastic. It's been exhilarating.
Thank you, Matt.
Po, I just want to tell you that I think you've got a real art with the way you put food onto a plate. I'm going back to LA to shoot, and if you'd like, I'll extend an invitation and pay for your flight to come over and spend a week on set with my team.
Oh my God, this just made me think about that, yes.
Julie, at this point, is there anything at all you'd like to say?
Oh, loads. I'll start with the contestants. What a ride, hey? We all understand each other, what we sort of went through here and what we achieved. I thank you all for making it exactly what it was. I wouldn't have it any other way. All the chefs, I can't describe how privileged I feel that people of your calibre are willing to come along and help amateurs. It's humbling and I thank you. You guys, Sarah and Gary and George and Matt, I treasure everything that I've been through. And I thank you so much for what you've brought to me, the change you've allowed me to make in my life. Thank you. Thank you.
Julie, we've got some very special guests here to join you.
Holy crap, you're so tall. You too.
Congratulations, Papa.
Oh, wow. These are my boys. These are my boys. Oh.
Very dirty.
Joseph, your mother is the first ever MasterChef. Are you proud of her?
Of course I am.
Was it a surprise?
Not really.
I don't have words to describe it, you know. It's there's pride and love, and I've missed her so much, and just watched her grow. Yeah, she's just an amazing girl.
Christina, you've heard Poe talk a lot on the show about how she's cooked based on her family recipes. That must mean a lot to you.
It does, but she's chopped and changed. But yeah, we love her and she's done so well. We're very, very proud of her.
Thanks, Mum.
Julie, if you're going to change the universe, there's a small corner that you must start from, and that's yourself. You've changed me. You started with yourself and you changed us. You are on an upward journey. You are Australia's first ever MasterChef.
Well done, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, what's happened?
I don't know. It's been an amazing journey for all the contestants, but in particular, Julie, Australia's first ever MasterChef. Of course, you can catch Julie again tomorrow night on the 7 p.m. project. Thank you to the millions of Australians who've embraced our love of cooking and our love of good food. Good night.